over the sugar industry. It was managed by the Booker Tate, who had a contract, and that was a legal binding agreement. And by the time Booker Tate finished with the industry, it produces 331,000 tons of sugar. So we find that prior to nationalization and prior to this government taking over the industry, we produced sugar over 300,000 tons. And I hope you can learn. So what happened? Like the PNC, the PPP took over the industry. They flooded the industry with party loyalists. And from that 331,000 tons of sugar produced, you know where we are, Mr. Speaker? We produced in 2020, 88,000 tons. In 2021, 58,000 tons, 30,000 tons dropped immediately. And if that was not disgraceful, in the year 2022, we produced 47,000 tons of sugar. And Mr. Speaker, it is not my way of saying things about myself. But the Honorable Minister over there called me back while I was a director and company secretary in another business and asked me to come in the sugar industry. And I saved the face of the PPP by producing 60,000 tons of sugar the next year. That's for the record. And since the PPP took office in 2020, until now, that number was not surpassed.
On my right, honorable members on my right, please.
I'm not sure what is happening. That's all right. And so, Mr. Speaker, that's all. And so, Mr. Speaker, what is the reason for that slide in production? So those who may have deep interest in the thousands of people that benefit from the industry and who want to continue earning a livelihood from this industry, let me outline to you what has caused the devastation of the sugar industry. And here I start. The selection and appointment of PPP political loyalists has been uppermost in the agenda of the government. Mr. Speaker, having said that, therefore, what happened with that appointment? People who never run a cake shop was placed to run the most complex industry, not only in Guyana, but the entire Caribbean. The writing is on the wall when that happens. When you place people not with merit, but with other belief and other reasons, the end result is utter destruction. And that's known in all theories in the world. If we go back to the old Peter Drucker, you go back to Samuel Soto, you go to Coates and O'Donnell, you go to the great Tony Manning, and I can make a long list for you. Some of you don't read. They have all said one thing in common. One thing in common, and let me quote what they have said in common. When good people become scarce, the best system dwindles. Sir, I seek your permission. When good people become scarce, the best system dwindles. That has been uppermost as to one of the reasons for the destruction of the slide of the sugar industry. Now, when I speak of good people becoming scarce, in 2021, Mr. Speaker, when the PPP took office in August of 2020, within the first 6 months, 9 top executives were removed. And those people, when I've accumulated the years of service they've offered, is 261 years service. So we have no respect for people with skills and experience in this country. And we replace those 9 people We replace those 9 people with some who don't understand basic botany, morphology, and physiology of a cane plant, but managing the sugar industry. Well, to put it simple, who don't understand the difference between a cane, a leaf sheet, and a midrib? I don't know if I could do that better. They don't understand the difference between a leaf sheet and a midrib of the cane plant, all yet understanding physiology, morphology, and botany. Mr. Speaker, let me get into some details. Let me go to some details, Mr. Speaker. In 2022, Gaisuku purchased a drone that up to 2026, at this minute, it has never arrived. Millions were spent. Gaisuku purchased something that we call French cutter. It's a mechanical harvester that never cut canes to produce 1 ton sugar. Gaisuku produced a Captain mechanical harvester that up to today, it didn't cut cane to produce 1/4 ton of sugar. I want to borrow the term used by the senior minister when a member of this side of the House, an honorable member, made his presentation. The senior minister said, and I quote, "Sir, the people want to hear." Sir, I'm saying the same thing. I want to echo that call of yours. The people want to hear, so let me say it. $144 million were paid to a former CEO. And sir, when some said, let us appeal the matter. Let us appeal. Let us appeal the case. The honorable minister said he's instructed not to proceed with an appeal. The honorable minister who sits right here, he says that I am instructed for you not to proceed with the appeal. The people must know where the money has gone. $144 million. And if that was not enough, the man was promoted to an esteemed office. Mr. Speaker, much to the chagrin, much to the annoyance, much to the disappointment of the former CEO of Gaisuku that was placed by the PPPC administration. You know what happened, Mr. Speaker? You had millions paid to a group of people, a selected group of people whom were deemed to be people that could not have been out the job for a couple of mornings. When you were just having 3 estates crushing as against 11 estates where I made my name. So, Mr. Speaker, what happened? Since these people were so-called indispensable, millions of dollars were paid to them for not taking their leave. And I want the senior finance minister to hear this because he doesn't know where his monies are misspent. And I believe when I'm finished, sir, you will ask the budgeteers to slash their budget back and come to you. I want to believe so. Mr. Speaker, that's not all. The act was so disgraceful that the then chairman of Guyana Sugar Corporation, who is now a minister in this government, ordered for...
Honorable member, I'll give you back your time every time I interrupt you because of...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You'll get back your time, right?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I wish to deviate, sir. When members of a noble house has descended to an extent where it becomes characterized by illiteracy, where it becomes characterized by dissent and by making remarks which are not concomitant with the House, how worse can we get? It means that the House, therefore, sir, has descended to a level as to be beneath any reasonable definition of human decency. We have lost decency. And we have reached the point where the House is interpreted as to be beneath any reasonable definition of human decency because of a few. And these few, they don't intend to learn, they don't want to listen, so they can't understand. They can't comprehend. Mr. Speaker, an honorable senior minister, I beseech you, sir, a contractor was paid hundreds of millions of dollars to do a particular job, but up to today, he doesn't have the equipment to do it. Honorable Minister, Senior Minister, and Honorable Speaker, I'm continuing with the slide of Gaisuko. Mr. Speaker, an instruction was given to go to Brazil and bring canes to plant in Guyana. It was done without the approval of the NPPO. This is an arm of the government. The same government breached the law and breached the rule and sent for canes in Brazil. But hear this, Honorable Senior Minister, $21 million were paid up front where you couldn't pay people in Gaisuku who are cutting the cane, weeding the grass, planting the cane, and doing everything manually. And Mr. Speaker, if you may want to say to me that, well, you know, we all make mistakes, but hear this mistake. The canes were brought and planted at Rosal Estate, to be precise, lot 6, fields 5 and 7. Honorable Senior Minister, the canes that were brought from Brazil illegally were taken by instructions to Rosal and planted in lot 6, field 5 and field 7. You know what happened? Let the people hear. The cane came along with a disease, with a fusarium that is called pokabong. It came along with a disease. So we have pathological strains that when we manufacture sugar, it will be found in the sugar when we export to other countries. Sir, please allow me to say, for the edification and information of others here, in the science of agriculture,
Honorable members, I'm going to take a suspension.
Because to be prepared. You'll get unchecked. So this graceful body, look at the speaker.